everyone, and welcome to 2019. Thought this would be a good chance, since today is January 1st, 2019, to talk about your goals. Have you set goals for 2019? Did you set any for 2018? Did you meet your goals? Did you not meet your goals? Let's talk about this. Let's break it down a little bit, because I've kind of become a little obsessive when it comes to goals, and I'm really excited to share with you the system that I use to create goals and how I execute them. So let's first talk about the goals I set for myself for 2018, the past year. The first one had to do with eBay. My eBay dropshipping business was already doing really well going into 2018, and I wanted to keep that up. I wanted to keep the momentum going. I had experimented with a second store before 2018, but it was one of my goals to really lock down a second store in 2018. The first part of the year, I had a store. It was going well. Then I made some changes. Some things got changed around, and actually shut down that store for a while. Then I rebooted the store in the fall, and it's going pretty well. I'm pretty excited with the growth of that store. So I hit that goal. Didn't quite get the numbers I wanted on that new store, but I am still excited that I actually set it up and that it is profitable and doing really well at this point. Really self-sustained. That was my goal with it. I have one VA who's running it, and she's doing all the work. I usually forget that I even have that store, which is pretty cool. YouTube. So going into 2018, I had just started this YouTube channel, and I didn't really have much of an idea of where it was headed. I just liked making content for you guys. I liked making as much valuable information and putting it out there as I could. So needless to say, I've been really blown away at the response from you guys as to how much you've enjoyed the content. We just hit 25,000 subscribers on the channel, which just blows me away. I never would have expected to reach this number in a year. So thank you everyone who has subscribed so much. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone who's watched the videos, who give them thumbs up, everything, and just participates in these live chats. I really, really appreciate it. It really gives me the feedback. It lets me know that you guys like the videos, that you're getting some value out of them, and it encourages me to do more of them. So thank you for being a part of this with me. I really appreciate it. And it's been one of the most exciting parts of this year, has been all the interaction I've had on YouTube with you guys. So those were two huge things that happened this year. But my two biggest goals for 2018 were, the first one was my Amazon store. I had started an Amazon store in 2017, just as a quick experiment to see how it worked. I had it open for a week, and that was it. So 2018, I really wanted to start an Amazon dropshipping business. And again, it took me a little bit longer to get started because I had all these other projects and another big one, which I'll talk about in a minute. But I'm just really excited that I was able to get my Amazon dropshipping business started, that it's doing really well. I'm really happy with not only the sales volume that I'm doing, but also the profit I'm making on Amazon with dropshipping. And just the fact that I really feel like I've nailed down a system, I've locked it down, and at this point, it's just all about scaling it. So I hit that goal, which is really exciting. Definitely took me longer than I wanted to, but that's okay because I did eventually get there. But the biggest goal for me for 2018 was my course, Dropshipping Titans, all about eBay dropshipping. I released it in January of 2018. So this was right at the beginning of the year. And I really underestimated the response I was going to get from all of you, all my students, everyone who's taken the course. Just hearing from so many of you how much it's helped you, getting DMs from you guys, messages from you on Facebook, messages inside the private mastermind, showing your sales results, showing me how well you're doing, telling me, how much of a difference it's made for your store, or just some people have told me how much it's impacted their self-esteem, just knowing that they finally were able to succeed at something like this. So that has been such a blessing to me that I've been able to be part of that journey. I don't like to take too much credit for that because I know that it's you guys who have done the work. You're the ones who actually put in the work and actually reach the goals. But I'm just so excited that I've been able to at least show you the path and show you how to get started with it. And just feel so blessed that you chose me to help you as much as I can along that path. So thank you so much, everyone who has taken the course and who has allowed me to help you with your eBay dropshipping journey. It's been like a total mindset shift for me to move into that role. And it's been so much fun and I've enjoyed it so much. So with all that, because of all those different businesses I have running, I was able to leave my 9-to-5 job this year. I left corporate America. I was an attorney. I was able to leave that job, do everything I just mentioned full time, which is really exciting because I'm really, really passionate about all of this. And the fact that I'm able to do it all day now, any day, I'm just in love with this, everything that I'm doing. So, and I owe so much of it to you guys. So really, from the bottom of my heart, thank you so much. And I do have something to kind of thank you, which I'll talk about in a couple of minutes. I did make some mistakes this year. I mentioned a couple of them. One thing is definitely I tried to do too much, too fast. I was way too impatient with things. One of the things I learned this year was how to slow down a little bit, take things one step at a time, which was really important. I get really excited about new projects and want to do everything at once. And I know a lot of you guys are like that too. And I see people fail because of that. I failed because of that in the past. So we really got to lock things down and take things one step at a time, one big new project at a time. And that's what really helped me do well. But there were certainly some things I had to scrap because they just didn't fit in with the bigger agenda, so to speak. Even though they seemed exciting and things I wanted to do, they just didn't fit in. So one example of that was I was really trying to I spent some time trying to create a system or a software to help my students and anyone else with price protection from different websites. And I put so much time into it. And then I realized that this just isn't me. Like, this is not something I'm good at. I don't know software. There are people who are much better at this than I am. So I scrapped that project. I put a lot of time into it that was wasted, so to speak, but I guess it was a good learning experience. And the great news is that I reached out to people who were better at this than I am, people who are good with software. So I kind of leveraged my network, and I talked to the guys who own the software AutoDS, told them, hey, like, this is what I was trying to do. Do you have any ideas? And they said, give us 2 weeks. We'll integrate it into our software. And they did. So they did it in a way I never could have. So bravo to them. They played to their strengths. I didn't try to do something I'm not good at, which I guess is a lesson there. The other mistakes I kind of made this year is that I definitely was overworked at times. I didn't give myself enough of a break, enough of a rest. My mind was going a lot. I don't think I got as much sleep as I needed to at times. It definitely helped when I left my 9-to-5 job because I was able to set my own schedule. So that's something I'm going to be looking at more closely going into 2019. So I want to hear from you guys. What were your goals for 2018? Did you reach them? If you didn't, what happened? Why didn't you reach them? Let me know in the comments. I'll shout some of you guys out and we'll look at your comments, whether you reached your goals or not. But I wanted to talk real quick about how I set my goals, what I do to set my goals. And really the keys for me are, one, I write them down. And that's really, really important for me because that really puts them in a very tangible form. So they're real then once I write them down. The other thing is I always find a way to hold myself accountable. And I'll talk more about that in a second. And the third is just consistently working towards those goals. So the first one, I talked about writing down my goals. So I've talked about this book before. It's called, I think, The 12-Week Year by Brian Moran, M-O-R-A-N. This book I read this year, it was my favorite book of the year. I read a lot of books this year. This book was a game changer. It really teaches you how to set goals the right way. And there's just so much great motivation in this book. I loved it. It's my #1 book of the year. Basically, what they say is it's called the 12-week year. They say you shouldn't set goals for the year. So he's arguing, don't set a goal, New Year's resolutions for 2019. Only set goals for the next 3 months. And that's because people set goals for the year and then they wait all year until November and December to actually hustle and get them done. But if you set 3-month goals, that really motivates you to act quickly because you have a very short period of time to do it. And the other benefit of it is that it forces you to only concentrate on the most important things, the few most important things. If you try to map out your entire year, 12 months, you might say, oh, I want to do this thing, I want to do this thing, I want to do this thing. It's a lot. It's very easy to get overwhelmed. I know I feel that way looking at the whole year, but I can look at the next 3 months and say, yeah, I can set a goal for the next 3 months and just do it for the next 3 months. And that's what he's arguing there. And he really encourages you to write things down in a journal of some sort. This is one I got on Amazon. It's called This Is My Era. And what I love about it is, it might seem a little corny to use like a journal like this or like a diary, but I found using this really works. It works better than writing it down on my computer somewhere. You can set a master goals right here. It's like my master's goals list. Then from there, you break down your master goals. You put each of them into, let me show you, into this goal worksheet. So each master goal goes here, and then you have to show specifically all the action steps you have to take to reach that goal. And so this is really important. I think there's been scientific studies on this, that it's not enough just to set a goal. You have to actually articulate in actionable steps how to reach that goal. So this book forces you to do that. Once you have that down, then you set your monthly goals. So you have a monthly calendar. From there, you break it down into weekly goals. And then from there, you set it down into daily goals. Now, you don't do all this at once. That would be overwhelming. So what I do is I set my master goals, and then I break them down in that breakdown chart I showed you. And then every week, I just go in and look at my master goal list and say, what can I do this week to work towards each of my master goals? And I write that down into my weekly review session. There's a section for this week's top priorities, and then the action steps needed to reach those top goals and priorities. And then every day, once I have the week planned out, so I do that every Sunday, then every night I go to my weekly review and I see what can I do tomorrow to reach my weekly goals. And then the cool thing is that each day you can say at the top what you're thankful for. At the bottom, you can recap the day, see what did I do well today, what didn't work well today. So it sounds a little overwhelming, but it's not. It really, really helps me reach and achieve my goals. And it's been a real game changer for me. So again, that journal is called This Is My Era. I got it on Amazon, and I chose this one because it's the cheapest. So there's some really expensive ones out there, but this one was cheap. The other thing I talked about was accountability. Accountability is hugely important for me. So I left my job. So there's accountability right there to my family to provide, right? So that's a big motivation right there. But also it helps to have good friends who are in the same similar kind of sphere as you, interested in the same things. So I have some buddies, you might know Tyler, you might know Jeremy, talk to them almost every day. We hold each other accountable, we keep each other motivated. That really helps a lot. And you guys on YouTube, you guys always hold me accountable because I have to make these videos, right? I have to actually continually learn about eBay and Amazon dropshipping. I got to make sure that my accounts are in tip-top shape so I can talk to you guys about it and actually know what I'm talking about. So you guys have been such huge accountability partners for me. So thank you for that. And the last key I mentioned was consistency. And this journal really helps with consistency so much because it breaks it down and makes sure that every day you know exactly what you have to do that day to reach your goals. And that's what I mean by consistency. So if you've set goals for yourself and you've struggled before, I encourage you to do it anyway. Try this system. You don't need to buy the 12-week yearbook if you don't want, although I thought it was a great book. I encourage you to get the journal though. I mean, some people think, oh, I'll just write it down on a computer or I'll just do it in my head. It really helps to write it down. So I encourage you to do that. I really think that if you try the system, you might see a big change for yourself. If you never thought you could reach your goals, you're never good at them, try it. It might just work for you. So if anyone's here in the chat, let me know what systems you use to set goals, whether they work for you. I would love to hear from you guys, and I'll shout those out as well. But before I do that, I just wanted to go over my goals for 2019. So the first one has to do with eBay dropshipping. My 2 stores are going well. I want to keep that up. And I want to add a third store. The third store, I want it to be more of an automated one. The guys over at AutoDS, they have software built in to help you automate your eBay dropshipping business. I really want to try it. And of course, I'm going to document that journey here on YouTube, which brings me to my second goal, which is YouTube. I never want to focus on more subscribers. It's great when it happens, but I find, I've been on other people's YouTube channels. I've seen what they do. Some people have a lot of subscribers and nobody watches their videos because they don't provide good content, or they used to provide good content and don't anymore. So I just want to focus on always providing great content for you guys. That's why I'm going to document that whole journey of making the new store and everything else that I'm doing. So that's going to be my goal going into 2019. I would like to have more interviews on my channel, have more people come on, talk about their journey, because I know you guys love that as well. My Amazon dropshipping business, I want to level up with that. It's going really well. So I want to scale it up and just do more of what's working really well there. I kind of mentioned this before, and I know Tyler, my buddy Tyler, mentioned this when he was talking about his goals, is that a lot of times when you become in a new business, really obsessed with it, you can let other things kind of get shoved to the side, like your health. So I really want to focus on that this year too. Pack on some muscle if I can. I'll maybe go to the gym a lot more. And just more importantly than anything else, I want to get better sleep. I don't think I've been sleeping as well as I want to. So that's going to be a focus, is trying to get a better night's sleep. I do like to wake up early, so I have to try to balance the two of those. But my biggest goal for 2019 is I'm going to be releasing an Amazon dropshipping course. Like I said before, it's been amazing helping you guys with your eBay dropshipping businesses here on YouTube by giving you guys information here, and all my students inside the course. I've just been blown away at the transformations I've seen, and my Amazon business is doing really well as too. So I want to share that information with you guys as well. So I will be dropping that Amazon dropshipping course. I don't have a date for it yet, but that is one of my big goals for 2019. I've actually been working on it for a couple months already. So I do hope to have it out soon. So stay tuned for that. But I did want to thank you guys for just being awesome. I already told you why I'm so thankful for you guys. So I have it should be the first link in the description of this video if the contest is still running. Sorry, it's a giveaway. It's a giveaway. It's not sponsored by YouTube in any way or associated with YouTube in any way. It's just me, Dropshipping Titans, that's running it. So you can sign up with your email, and there's multiple ways to enter. You can, once you enter in your email, show you all the different ways that you can enter the giveaway from multiple entries. The things I'm giving away are full access to the Amazon Dropshipping Titans course once it's released, full access to my eBay course, full access to my Super Simple VAs course, and another prize that I haven't decided yet. So there'll be one winner for each prize. If you're already a member of my course, don't worry, I'll give you another prize, or I'll reimburse you, something like that. Don't worry. So you can still join it now and still get a great prize later. So that is the details on the contest right there. Cool. So let me see what your goals are. If you guys haven't dropped your goals into the chat for 2019, let me know. I'll shout out a few of you guys. We have Hazem here. I think he was the first one, so thank you for being here. We have the Beshier family. Hope I'm saying that right. Say Happy New Year, everyone. Oh, lots of people here saying Happy New Year. So by the way, that giveaway, I think it's going to be up for a week. So what's up, Tyler? Just talking about you. I didn't even know you were here. Connor is listing while watching the videos. That's awesome. Music Mania says 2019 will be their year. That's what I like to hear. Okay. Oh, welcome, Lisa, to the first live chat you were able to make it for. Welcome, man. Thanks for the shout out there. And welcome, Jenny, as well. I want to hear some of your... looks like somebody gave me a shout out to come over here, so I appreciate that. So let's see who's... I want to hear some of your goals. Jenny likes the shirt. Yeah, this is a new shirt I just got. Awesome. Oh, thanks for the shout out here. Everyone's being so nice today. Okay, so let's see some of your goals. Okay. Archie says 2018 goals. Start an e-commerce business? Done. Attended Moscow Art Theater School in Moscow, Russia to be a stronger performer? Done. Wow. I'd like to hear more about that. That sounds really exciting. But congrats on hitting your goals there. Jenny's that book on Audible? I don't know. It should be if it's not. It's a great, great book. It's not lazy. It's a very efficient way of reading. Yes, so Earth Owns Beth says, so are you drop shipping on Amazon using big box retailers like Walmart? I read that's against Amazon's terms of service and will get you suspended. So technically, so that is what I'm doing, yes. Is it technically against Amazon's terms of service? Yes. But with that said, Amazon knows we're doing this. They have to know that we're doing it. There's no other way we could be selling the volume of products we are and the types of products we are unless we are drop shipping from big box stores like Walmart. So Amazon knows that we're doing it. They tolerate it so long as you provide a good customer service experience to the customers. So if you keep all your metrics in line and provide a good experience to your customers, they won't shut you down for that. So you got to know how to do it right, and they do tolerate it. Nice. That's what I like to hear. You guys were already thinking about this. Now Paul mentioned it. Just ordered a journal while watching this video. Okay. Jenny agrees. Journals are great. Okay, let's see. This is a great idea from Sea Monkeys. I write my goals down, put them on my bathroom mirror. I'm forced to look at them every day and take them down when completed. That is a great, great technique. I've actually used that before. I used to put Post-its up there and I would leave them up until they were accomplished, and then I would take them down. I still have some of them inside the cabinet. Some of like the big goals that I didn't actually think I was going to hit. I saved them, and they're still inside there. Yes, Jenny agrees that you need accountability partners. They are huge. Okay. So, Swaxy, hope saying anyone that dropships from eBay. From eBay? or doing to eBay? Do you search for worthy items to dropship, or do you list massive amounts of items and go for quantity over quality? So when I'm dropshipping onto eBay, I focus more on quality items that I already know are selling well on eBay. I don't just try to list anything and everything. Different techniques. Some people do list anything and everything. If you know Jack Pittman, that's the way he used to roll. But I do it a little differently. I do more product research, which I do show inside the free course, which I have underneath this video. Let's see. Yes, that is the name of the journal. This is my era. That's the one. Just Google it. You don't have to use a link of mine or anything. All right. Setting goals are really not that hard. You gotta, I'm telling you, if you get a journal, it's going to make a world of a difference for you. All right, so let's see what else you guys are doing here. What other goals you have? Dominic wants to establish 1,000 products pertaining to the pet industry in his WooCommerce store by the end of January. Awesome goal. Dominic wants to list every single day. These are great goals. Let's see. Awesome. Nancy wants to retire in 2019. Nancy, I really hope you can retire in 2019. And I know you come here a lot, so when it happens, let us know. We'll throw a party for you. I love this one. Goal, to stop doubting myself and be more positive. I love that one. Let's see. Music Mania, 12-week goal is to hire a virtual assistant and scale my eBay store. That is a good start. I would say be more specific with that goal. What does it mean to scale your store? What level do you want to be at? The more specific you can get with your goals, the more likely you are to reach them. Awesome. Dropshipping is a way of life said, my main goals were to get my business set up and registered, get tax exempt on my major suppliers, also become profitable month to month. I did reach them all before the year was out. Awesome. That is awesome to hear. Congratulations. I've never had this one happen before, Lisa. My husband won his fancy football Super Bowl this week. Now we are taking your eBay dropshipping course. So excited. Martin also used Post-its. Yeah, Post-its are another great one. Maybe instead of a journal, if you want to use Post-its, I've used them. They work really well, especially when you're trying to plan something out. They work really well for that. All right, so Tommy says, I am wanting to make another stream of income with dropshipping so I can afford to horseback ride again. My sister does she used to love horseback riding as well, so I hope you're able to do that. Craig wants his eBay business to overtake his existing business. Oh, so the journal's not available in the UK. I'm sure you can find something similar to it. I'm sure there's something else similar to it out there. Oh, never mind. It's on eBay UK. Okay, so great question from, looks like Ricky Boys. do you really need to apply for a business permit before you start eBay dropshipping? So do you have to? No, you absolutely don't need one to get started. Is it probably a good idea? Any lawyer is going to tell you that before you start any business, it is a smart idea to set up some sort of business entity. Most people who are doing dropshipping, small solopreneurs like us, we usually start LLCs, limited liability companies. And the reason for that is because they are one of the easier entities to set up. They're really easier to manage if you're just one person. You don't have a lot of the formalities of running a corporation, so you don't need a board of directors. You don't even necessarily have to hold meetings or keep minutes if you set it up the correct way. So that's why it appeals to so many small businesses or solopreneurs like us. And the great thing about LLCs is that if you set them up correctly and you run them correctly, they do protect you in many cases from personal liability. So if your company gets sued, it means that you personally aren't getting sued. Now, there's always caveats here. If you screw things up, you don't set it up correctly, you don't run it correctly, then you could be sued personally. And for certain things that you do, you can also be sued personally. But if everything's in tip-top shape and you're doing everything correctly, then in theory, it's supposed to protect you from personal liability. I always encourage people to speak with an attorney so they understand for their own particular situation what's best for them. This is just some general information about it. Personally, when I started eBay dropshipping, I didn't start a corporate entity. I didn't start an LLC. I just did it as myself, Paul. Then once it started to do well, then I formed an LLC and I did a more formal corporate entity that way. All right, awesome goal here. Looking to clear $5,000 profit by June. So really hope you meet those goals. My goal is to have Paul on my channel. I do owe you that. I remember we were chatting about it before the holidays, so let's reconnect about that. Awesome. So Martin says, my goal was to get to 30 subscribers by the end of 2018, and I did that at 37. So congrats, Martin. Jenny, let's connect. I've been dying to have you on my channel, actually. That's actually inside my journal. Your name is in there. I've been meaning to reach out to you. Okay. Okay, so what's the deals.com says short-term goals is finish the eBay dropshipping course. Bought it Sunday, 40% finish. Awesome. But you got to set some higher goals than that. Like set some goals to actually get the business up and running and start doing well with it. I would love to hear back in a couple months, see how that's going for you. So Johnny wants to know when the next meetup will be. That will be, that's part of one of my goals. My short-term goals is to do one soon. All right. So I know people are having a lot of questions. I'm getting to the other questions soon. Okay. So I had some questions from the week. Let's take a look at those. Okay. First question was, Paul. Hi, Paul. I have not listed in quite a while and I was not aware of the GSP option, the Global Shipping Program option. I typically prefer not to ship international and offer free shipping when possible. I recently listed an item without knowing this, listed as free shipping, and now have bidders from other countries. What do I do here? So he didn't set up the global shipping program, and these people from other countries are now bidding on the items. So this is not a great situation, because if they buy it, you're going to have to get the item to them. If you advertise free shipping, that could be a mess. Honestly, I'm not even familiar with how to do international shipping, unless it's through the global shipping program. So you should go back into your business policies and make sure that's only the global shipping program if that's what you want to do. But this brings me to the next question I got this week, which was, hey, Paul, have you ever heard of Hip Shipper, HIPSHIPPER? And how does that compare to the global shipping program offered by eBay? Just mostly want to know if it's legit and if you've had any experiences with them. Currently, I'm using the GSP, and I was curious about trying the other. Any thoughts? So I did do some research on this. I've heard of Hip Shipper before, but it wasn't until you asked that question that it really did some digging into it. It is a real website. It looks legit to me. I've talked to some people who actually use it. It looks legit. And what Hip Shipper does is like an alternative to the global shipping program. So you set up your account on Hip Shipper, and they actually create a new business policy for you. I hope I'm understanding this correctly. They set up a new policy, a business policy for you on eBay, so that people can buy the item from you who are not from the USA, and they set up the business policy so that it takes care of the extra cost of shipping, the extra cost of tariffs and fees and all of that stuff. Then when the item sells, let's say it sells to someone in another country, what you do is you're sent the actual address of the customer, which is unlike the GSP, the Global Shipping Program, because with the Global Shipping Program, you are sent the address for eBay's Global Shipping Program. You get that address and you send it to eBay directly. With the Hip Shipper, you're actually given the buyer's address. That's the address you see. But when you log into Hip Shipper, they give you a different address. They give you their address, which is actually in Brooklyn, New York, and they say for the name, put this special code. So you ship it to that address in Brooklyn, and then they forward the package to the customer. So it's almost the exact same thing as a global shipping program, but it's not as integrated into eBay as obviously the eBay global shipping program. So why would you use Hip Shipper over the GSP? Well, I've never personally used it, like I said, but what's promised is that it's actually many times cheaper than the global shipping program. Not cheaper for you, it's cheaper for the end customer. So more customers buy if you use Hip Shipper as opposed to global shipping program. They say they also ship to different locations than the global shipping program as well. So those are potentially benefits of using Hip Shipper. When I was exploring it today, it looked very appealing. I'm very interested in it. I don't know if I'll have time to really try it out and check it out. Oh, I forgot to say, the last time what I saw was that it's actually free to use. So it's similar to the global shipping program. Well, it's not similar. Let me explain. Sorry. So what happens is the customer on eBay, they're going to pay you money for the item. Then they pay you extra money for shipping. Hip Shipper sets that up inside your eBay account for you. So then you owe that shipping money to Hip Shipper. So Hip Shipper only gets paid if you make sales. And because eBay only charges a final value fee on the cost of the item and not shipping, then what ends up happening is it's not an increased final value fee for you. So that's what they promise. It sounds very appealing to me. I would love to try it myself when I have the time. Okay, so I'm sorry if I've skipped your question. I will be answering as many of the questions as I can soon. Okay. All right. So the next question I had this week was Carmen was saying, do you actually recommend an actual eBay store? I've been selling on eBay for 19 years. I've never had a store. Yes, I do recommend you get an actual store, Carmen, and that's because it's going to save you money. You get usually 50 free listings, but if you're going to list more than that, then you want to get a store subscription. Also, your final value fee will be brought down. It saves you money. That's the reason people do it. Okay, so this person asked, okay, so this is a good opportunity for me to apologize for something I said a couple months ago. So I get a lot of questions from people saying, why, when you hire a virtual assistant, why don't they just take the knowledge they learned and then run with it on their own, start their own business, start their own dropshipping store? And in the past, the reason I gave was a little, I don't know what to say about it. It wasn't very insightful of me, the answer I gave. And I want to apologize for it. So, because what I said was that the reason these virtual assistants don't just create their own stores is because they're not entrepreneurs and because they want to work for someone else. And somebody messaged me and said, I used to watch your channel a lot. I'm actually a virtual assistant myself, but I was kind of offended by what you said because I am an entrepreneur. And I realized that she was absolutely right. And I feel really bad about it. But the truth is that, these virtual assistants, and I really should know better, because the virtual assistants that I hire, the one that I did the interview with for my YouTube channel, it is very clear that they are entrepreneurs, a lot of them, and that they have the entrepreneur spirit. And that's why they've gone essentially into business for themselves by starting to work online. Some of them just do work as virtual assistants on the side and have their own projects running. Some of them have created a whole career out of being a virtual assistant. And that is, in a way, them working for themselves. Yes, they have clients who I'm one of their clients, but that's similar to any sort of person you hire who works for themselves and that you're just a client for them. So I want to apologize if I've offended anyone by that comment. I realized that what I said was, it just wasn't true. And I feel bad about that. And speaking with my virtual assistants, I know that a lot of them do have the entrepreneur spirit, and it just hasn't manifested the same way that it might for me. So my apologies for that, and I hope I didn't lose you as a subscriber. Okay. Yeah, so Ricky Boy says, is it important to be tax exempt to be an eBay dropshipper? I think it is. It saves you a lot of money. And it really helps you be competitive. So this means that you're not paying sales tax when you purchase items from Walmart and Home Depot and Amazon. You're not paying sales tax in most situations. So it really helps you stay competitive, and I really think it is a good idea. Yes, Nancy, we see your post. Okay. So let's see. Okay. Thank you. Paul says, thank you for your, no, what did I say? Okay. Freaky Funny Channel says, hi, Paul. Thank you for your good information about dropshipping. Do you recommend dropshipping on eBay from Amazon? Yes, I do. I think it's a really good source to start with, and it's a really easy one to automate and scale up. And a lot of people are really successful with that one. So it's one that I think really can make up a good foundation for your store. Okay, so a lot of people are asking me about throttled accounts, eBay flagging you as a dropshipper. Yes, I do think that's happening. I think it's happening for people. And why it's happening, I think there's several different ways that they're identifying us as drop shippers. The first way is with software. They're able to see what software we're using. The second way is item location. So if you're shipping the item, if you're claiming the item is, let's say, somewhere in New York, but it's shipping from all over different places in the United States, eBay claims they don't like that and they flag you for that reason. Now, whether that they're actually flagging us as drop shippers specifically, I don't know. It could just be that they want us to ship the items from the location that we promise. And if you don't do that, they flag your account for that reason, because they've specifically said that is an issue for them, that they want you to ship your items from the location that's in the listing for that item. And if you don't, they said that you'll get penalized for that. It doesn't make any sense. I hate the rule. It doesn't logically make any sort of sense, but that is their rule. So like I said, whether they're specifically tagging us for being drop shippers or they're just using this as a pretense for labeling us as drop shippers, or if this is really about the item location, there's no way for... Oh, shoot. Can you guys still hear me? I know you can't see me. Let me just change the camera. Okay. So if you guys can still hear me, we'll continue with this camera, though it's not the best. So what the real issue is there, I'm not sure. But what I found is that even with having an account that for me was flagged in some regard, it is still working. I'm still making money with that account. It's still doing really well. So I'm still happy because we're still making money there. So that's kind of attitude I have, is how can we work with the system that exists? Because if it's a case where eBay doesn't want us using the software, it's so difficult to run an eBay dropshipping business without software. Can you do it? Yes, you can. And there are ways to make it easier to do that. But ultimately, in order to scale to a level, I believe, to actually make a serious amount of money, or at least an appreciable amount of money, I think you need the software. There's just no way to manage it all without software. So one of the things I'm looking for in 2019, and I've already been doing this for the later half, for most of 2018, really since April, is how can we work with what we have? And what I found is that if you continue to list onto eBay, continue to get the items up, we can still make money with eBay dropshipping, even with an account that is flagged. I've been successful with it. My students have been successful with it. My accountability partners have been successful with it. So that is what we are working with. It's just the new reality. It does work if you know how to work with it. All right. Great question by Abraham here. I know that Home Depot, Walmart, and Amazon are offer tax exemption. Are there other suppliers who do the same? There are other suppliers. These three that you mentioned are the ones who make it the easiest for us as dropshippers. So I know for a fact that Bed Bath & Beyond has a program and Lowe's has a program, but when you dropship from them, there's other problems with those suppliers. And in order to actually use your tax exempt certificate or number, then once you purchase the item, you have to then call Lowe's or Bed Bath & Beyond, tell them, hey, I just placed this order. Can you apply my tax exempt number? And then they do it. It takes a while. When I was trying to do Lowe's, I was calling Lowe's and they had so many issues. They said, oh, you actually have to drive to every single state and apply for each different state for the tax exemption. It made no sense. So that's one of the reasons I hate them. So it is possible with other suppliers. All right, we have Aiden saying type X if you are a drop shipper. And we have now a lot of X's in the chat. So glad to see there are a ton of drop shippers here. David's will be a drop shipper soon, so that's exciting. right, so let's see. All right. So if I missed your question, just drop the question again. I'm trying to get caught up. So drop your question again if I missed it. So I'm really excited to, I'm going to be making a video, hopefully in the next 2 weeks, talking about one of the first products I sold on eBay. One of the things as a drop shipper, putting myself out here on YouTube, I never wanted to reveal too much about my store, about the specific products that I sold, because I never wanted to get sniped. But I sold a product when I first started my store years ago, and now it's not in my store anymore. It's not even being sold anymore online. So I want to share it with you guys because this product I did over, in my first month, I did over $5,000 in sales with this one product, first couple of months. So I wanted to break it down for you guys, how I found this product, why this product was so important for the success of my business, and how I used it to kind of catapult my business forward. So I'll be making that video. If you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe to the channel. So Kirill says, which platform is easier to sell on, eBay or Amazon? I definitely think eBay is easier to sell on. Amazon has really strict metrics. They're really strict with things like getting your items out on time, making sure your tracking numbers are correct, answering customer questions quickly, all these sorts of things. You know, you can have items that are delivered to the customer. You have proof of tracking number. If the customer says they didn't get it, well, you're kind of stuck then. Amazon's going to side with the customer even if you have a tracking number showing it's delivered. So in that way, I think eBay is much easier to get started with. David wants to know, can I tell my virtual assistants to use my Amazon affiliate link? I've thought of that before. I think I looked into it, is technically against the affiliate program's terms of service. So I wouldn't advise it. There are cashback websites you can use that you should use instead. Nice. Cool. All right, so I want to welcome a few members to the course. Let's see who joined recently. So I wanted to welcome you guys. So we have John and Ian and Daniel. Welcome to the Dropshipping Titans course, the eBay course. Welcome Johnny, James, Kavarin, Vincente, Harris. Welcome to the course. And we have Malcolm, Daniel, Sharon, Victor, Rochelle, Crystal, and Kendall. Welcome everyone to the Titans tribe. Okay, so Dominic asked this question twice. So I don't want you to think I'm ignoring you, but you said, can I recommend software where you can take a product or item from Amazon, put it on my WooCommerce store, but it also monitors it for price changes and might have some research tools embedded? I don't know WooCommerce at all, to be honest, but I would look at SKUGrid. I believe that they work with WooCommerce. I'm not sure about that. So you might want to check out SKUGrid. Yeah, so Aiden wants to know how to minimize your eBay fees. So the best way to do this, really the only way, is for you to subscribe to a store subscription if you haven't done so. That could lower your fees to 9.15%, I believe, is pretty much the lowest you can get. And that's pretty much all you can do. If you're doing promoted listings, that's going to increase your fees and obviously insertion fees, but getting a higher store subscription will decrease or rather will increase the number of free insertions that you get, free listings that you get. What's up, Noah? Welcome. No, they do not. So yeah, once Amazon sides with the buyer, even if the tracking number shows it was delivered, you lose money on that sale. So you got to be careful. You got to know how to do it right. You have to get the kind of customer to admit that they received it. And that's pretty much all you can do. Sometimes I wouldn't say that they never side with you. They do side with you, but it's much harder than it is on eBay. So with eBay, when the customer opens up an item not received case, if you have a valid tracking number, you're good. eBay is going to side with you, even if the item is late, as long as it got there. They're going to side with you. On Amazon, they're not necessarily going to side with you. They're very 50-50 on it. So I shouldn't have said they will always side with the customer. They'll just side with them much more than you want and much more than makes sense. Okay. Yeah, so Legend, if you're shipping internationally, you shouldn't be shipping directly, in my opinion. You should use either eBay's global shipping program or maybe Hip Shipper. Again, I've never tried it. It looks pretty cool, so check that one out. Oh, nice, man. Thank you so much. Dropshipping is a way of life. With the $20 super chat, says, just wanted to thank you for all the great content you have shared in 2018. Also, shout out my channel if you don't mind. If not, that is cool too. Say thank you for all the great advice. I guess I just shouted out your channel right there. So go ahead and check out his channel. I'm going to use your $20 to buy my next journal. I appreciate that, man. Really do. Okay. So Zachariah says, does eBay take the fees automatically? They automatically charge the fees. It's just so weird the way eBay does it. I don't know. It kind of bothers me. So you sell a $100 item. Let's say the fee for eBay is $9. So then they say, okay, you owe us $9. You think they would just take it. They don't, though. They then send you an invoice at the end of the month saying, these are all the final value fees you owe us. These are all the insertion fees you owe us. I just kind of find it annoying. I like the way Amazon does it, where Amazon takes 15%. So you sell a $100 item, they give you $85. They keep the 15. That makes sense to me. From a bookkeeping and accounting point of view, it makes it so much easier for us. That's one of the reasons I'm looking forward to eBay getting rid of PayPal. Just for the bookkeeping reasons, because I just think it's a mess right now. All right. All right, so we are at the end of the hour. I want to thank everyone so much for coming to the live chat here. If you're one of my subscribers, you're one of the people I mentioned before, one of the people that helped hold me accountable in 2018. Thank you so much again. Thank you everyone who's been here in the live chat. And I'm really looking forward to making these videos for you going into 2019. I have some really great content planned. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that subscribe button, and then hit that bell right there. It's going to give you an alert when I go live. While you're at it, go ahead and give the video a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that as well. And again, I have that giveaway that I'm running right now. It's only good for a week. So if you're watching this after January 8th, 2019. Sorry it's too late, but if you don't want to miss the next giveaway, you got to make sure to subscribe so that you get alerted about it. So make sure to check out the giveaway. There's some cool prizes and the bonus prize that I haven't even thought of yet. Thanks again, everyone, and I hope you have a fantastic night.